I did complete the conversion of this Scammell Highwayman. It's a 4mm model. I think it was an Oxford model. Pretty little thing. Nothing particularly special about the conversion. Like all these things, it has its moments. We've got one of my few remaining K20 gear motors driving through these little bevel gears. These are actually the Chinese mod 0.4 size, which, as I say, came from China, possibly courtesy eBay, can't quite remember. We have an on-off switch there, painted black, so you conveniently can't really see it, and a charging socket somewhere. Yeah, that's the back end. Also painted, you can just about see that. That's a little 2-pin charging socket there. And that's all there is as regards that. There's a 400 milliampere battery sat in the ballast box there, and in fact the receiver is sat on top of it. It's a repurposed, I think I've got a Deltang in there, can't quite remember. Let's see if I can pull that off. And oh, it's double-sided taped on, but you can just about see the battery in there. I can't quite remember whether I put a Deltang in there in the end, one of my old Deltangs, or whether I put one of the new Micron 601s. Now, the new Micron 601s, which I think I probably did end up putting in there, are really excellent receivers. They're a bit bigger. They're about 20mm by 10mm, which by the time you get down to this size, that makes it quite a big lump. However, they're much more sophisticated than the old Deltangs, and you can program the receiver to change the direction of the servo, or indeed the ESC output, and you can limit the travel, you can program the acceleration, you can do all sorts. So they're really good receivers, and I love them. So receivers sat in there as well, and the servo is obviously tucked in that area there. One of the slight awkwardnesses with converting this thing is this particular lorry has mudguards which are mounted to the stub axle, so they turn to the wheel, turn with the wheel, whereas of course normally the mudguards are fixed to the body, but these travel with the wheels, so they were a little bit of a fiddle to make, but rather fun. So the mudguards are more like motorcycles in this instance. So it's a rather fun little project to do. And at the moment I've got this controlled off one of my old basic receivers, but of course I can bind it to one of the later, more delicate receivers if I like. But of course it works as it should, and you can see the brake lights on the back end of the tractor there. So this will be quite a nice wagon to load up using the EM gauge crane if I so want, and then drive off into the distance with something on the back. I'll just try and drive it back into view. I did weather it all down a bit because I do prefer something like this to be weathered rather than completely sparkling. Now, a trailer such as this is a nasty beast to reverse, and frankly it takes a real expert, which I'm not anymore, to make a good job of reversing a trailer with a bogie. I'm all right with an Arctic, but a bogie trailer like this is an absolute nightmare to reverse. But anyway, I thought this would be a rather fun thing to play with on a layout, and a rather fun little conversion to do. I can unhook it from the trailer manually, so if I wanted to pull anything else, that's really not a problem at all. So there we go, nice little Oxford model. Converted to radio control, and me making a hash of reversing the thing, but there we go. Another little interesting toy.